Okay, so good morning to each and everyone. So welcome po sa ating parents orientation. So actually this is the third phase of our parents orientation. So for just a quick look back, so for the first phase, we have the learning continuity plan and the orientation for our trial class. And then for the second phase, we had the tutorial on navigating the Google Classroom by the respective advisors. And today, we will have the orientation on the general information about SVSEM. And also, we will have the um, health and safety protocols, and also the school calendar and activities. So ano ba yung mga aabangan natin for this school year? And also we will have the grading system and selection of honors and awards. Then we will have the question and answer forum. And so to proceed, let's have first our orientation rules. For our rules in our orientation, so first, participants other than the speakers should be muted throughout the orientation. So, mommies and daddies, paki-mute na lang po ang ating mga mic, ang inyo pong mga microphone. And then next po, all questions must be in the chat box and will be answered during the Q&A forum. So as we go along our orientation, if ever po na merong question na nag-come up po sa inyo, just type it in our chat box. So during our Q&A forum, we will answer all those questions. Okay po? And now, to officially start, let us have our opening prayer to be led by Teacher Jerome.
Everyone, let us put our thank you for everything. Thank you that you know each of us by name and have caused us to walk with you. We say that we are dependent on you and our trust is in you completely. As we surrender ourselves in you, we welcome you amongst us today and celebrate the gift of life that you have lavished upon each of us. We ask that you would open our ears so that we may hear your voice. Open our minds so that we may receive your eternal wisdom. Open our spirit so that we may know your leading and guidance. And open our hearts so that we may receive your wonderful love. God, we thank you for the speakers and facilitators. We pray that you would give them great inspiration as they share with us what you have placed on their heart. We pray that you would fill them with courage and give them your peace. We ask all this in the glorious name. Amen.
Okay, so, and now, to give us a warm greetings, let us welcome one of our school administrator, Mrs. Minerva N. Monzon.
Okay na. Thank you, Teacher Tin. First of all, I would like to greet everyone, especially our dear parents. A blessed morning. We have here today our principal, Dr. Roel F. Ancheta, and our teachers, who will be informing us of the direction and mode of teaching for the school year 2020 and 2021. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you parents for being with us despite this difficult time caused by the pandemic. Rest assured that we will continue our service and commit to improve in spite of challenges of the new normal. I hope, together with our consistent cooperation, the goals for our learners will be achieved. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mami Ner, for that wonderful message. And now, let us welcome our dearest principal, none other than Dr. Ruel F. Ancheta.
Okay, good morning, everyone. And also good morning to the rest of the members of the faculty of the St. Vincent Learning Center. First of all, I would like to welcome everyone, especially all the parents, for attending our virtual parents orientation for today. And I believe everybody is already, experiencing this problems brought to us by this COVID-19 pandemic. That is why we are having this virtual parents orientation. Actually, this is the first time in the history of the academy that the parents orientation are done virtually. So I hope that parents are also aware, and we have to be ready for all the things that we have to do at this point in time as the new normal, gaya nga ng mga sabi ng karamihan. Okay, by the way, to start with, our orientation for today will be like the same as what we are doing for the past years. But of course, the only thing that is different now is we have this what we call LCP, or the Learning Continuity Plan. So I believe all the parents are already familiar with this, because I believe that the school management conducted what we call a survey, and then you were asked your opinion about this. So this time, we are going to explain to you, or to discuss to you further, what does this learning continuity plan all about, and why is it that all private basic education institutions in the Philippines are required to come up with this LCP, or the learning continuity plan, for submission to the Department of Education. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, now for all the parents, I'll just give you an overview of what is happening at this point in time before the opening of our school year 2020-2021. Now, as what we have said, at this point in time, all educational institutions, both private and public,
Ayaw
are,
talagang i-move, no? Yung
are,
pasukan.
are
Talagang
required
yun na siya.
to, can you please mute your mic, please? Okay. As what I'm saying, by the way, all private schools and public schools at this point in time before the opening of the school year 2020-2021 are required to come up with the preparation. Siguro naman alam natin na ang ating presidente ay nag-declare ng kasabihan na walang opening of classes for the school year 2020-2021 unless the COVID-19 vaccine is available. However, the Department of Education's bargain to our government that we will not deprive the the opportunity of the children for the quality education despite the pandemic. That is why the Department of Education released a Department Orders number 07, number 13, and number 14 in response to the order of our president not to open the classes for the school year 2020-2021. Now, in compliance with these department order numbers that the Department of Education ordered, what do you call this? All the educational institution, especially the private school, ordered to come up with the learning continuity plan, or we call this LCP. Ano nga ba itong LCP or learning continuity plan na tinatawag? This is a requirement by the private school, okay, to submit to the Department of Education before the opening of the classes, which is school year 2020-2021. So this learning continuity plan is like a package for the private schools stating their preparations if they are already prepared to open the school year despite the pandemic. So therefore, in the learning continuity plan of the private school, it includes the house, what do you call this, the safety protocol, okay, health and safety protocol. Okay, so let me give you first an overview. So can you please go to the next slide, please? Okay, so the learning continuity plan is composed of the rationale and composed of the operationalization of the learning continuity plan. So in the learning continuity plan, it includes what we call the preparation as to what kind of learning and teaching will be offered with a private school, although there is an option. Most probably the option is like distance learning education. So in the learning continuity plan that the St. Vincent Learning Center of Manila has submitted to the Department of Education, the option was to open the school year 2020-2021 with a distance learning education or DLE. So mayroong mga questions na paano ang distance learning education, how it will be implemented. Okay, so how it will be implemented, let us explain to you this in this parents orientation. Okay, now if you notice that the school has conducted an online survey sometime this summer, and coming up with like questions on how many students will still be registered or enrolled in St. Vincent despite the pandemic. And the result of this survey was used to ensure that students will be safe and will be safe during the entire duration of the school year despite of the pandemic. Okay, so in the next slides, you can see that this is the result of their survey. Out of 175 responses, I believe so that 96% of which, okay, have what we call internet connection in their home. That is why the St. Vincent Learning Center came up with a certain learning modality in order to meet the needs of our students as far as distance learning education is concerned. Okay, can we move to the next slide? Okay, so for this academic year 2020-2021, St. Vincent Learning Center of Manila will adopt what we call distance learning education. And this distance learning education that the school will be conducted or implemented will be a combination of synchronous and asynchronous classes. I-explain natin mamaya kung ano ibig sabihin ng synchronous at anong ibig sabihin ng asynchronous classes. And as far as distance learning education is concerned to be implemented by the school, there will be no other platform to be used in the delivery of the distance learning. Ipapaliwanag natin ang ibig sabihin ng synchronous at asynchronous sa next slide. Can you go to the next slide? Okay. So ayan po ang ating learning modality. Ang ibig sabihin ng learning modality, anong gagamitin na plataforma ng eskwelahan para ma-implement ang tinatawag na distance learning education. Actually, ang distance learning education ay hindi na siya bago dito sa Pilipinas as far as education is concerned. Kaya lang, karamihan sa atin ay nakasanayan na natin na pag sinabi natin papasok tayo sa eskwelahan, it has to be a face-to-face, a classroom activity with the teacher and the students. But since this time na mayroon tayong pandemya, na kung saan bawal pumasok muna ang mga estudyante sa eskwelahan hanggat walang vaccine na available as far as the order of the Philippine government, wala tayong choice kundi gamitin ang tinatawag na distance learning education. Okay? Although, sa pandinig ng mga karamihan, pag sinabi natin distance learning education ay medyo mahirap, burden, at the same time, parang nangangailangan ng guidance ang mga bata pagdating sa tinatawag na distance learning education, which is true. Okay. Now, pag sinabi natin distance learning education, ang gagamitin ng modality ng eskwelahan is tinatawag na blended learning education. Blended, ibig sabihin, combination. Mayroon kasi mga choices na binigay ang Department of Education as to what kind of learning modality the school has to use, which is fully online, modular type, blended, which is a combination of online and offline, and home study program. So the St. Vincent Learning Center preferred to use the learning modality, which is what we call a blended learning approach, which is a combination of synchronous and asynchronous. Pag sinabi natin synchronous, ibig sabihin online. Okay? So magtuturo si teacher sa mga bata through online network. Kagaya ng ginagawa natin sa ngayon, na kung saan naririnig nyo ako, nakikita nyo ako, andyan kayo, nakikita ko din kayo. That is what we call synchronous, meaning online classes which requires teaching and learning on the same time or in the real time. Okay? So, tandaan po natin para pag tinanong tayo, anong ibig sabihin, anong modality ang ginamit ng St. Vincent? Blended learning approach po sila. Anong ibig sabihin ng blended learning approach? Yan po ay combination ng synchronous at asynchronous classes. Pag sinabi natin synchronous classes, this is online class with the students and the teacher with the use of a certain platform. Mamaya may sasabihin natin kung anong platform ang gagamitin. So, actual or real-time lectures or discussions will be heard by the students to the teachers. Okay? And of course, this will be used by a certain, platform like the Google Classroom, Zoom, that what we are doing now, or Google Meet. Okay? So yan tinatawag natin na synchronous. Ibig sabihin, online classes, parang wala siyang pinag-iba sa face-to-face. Ang problema nga lang ay hindi mo mahahawakan ang bata, hindi mo matatouch ang bata, pero nakikita mo ang bata at the same time, nakikita ng bata si teacher. That is what we call synchronous. So pag sinabi naman natin asynchronous, ito yung offline na pagtuturo. Pag sinabing offline, hindi totally nakikita ni teacher si students and the students cannot see the teacher totally. So anong ibig sabihin nito? Ang mga bata ay mayroong oras na kung saan mag-aaral sila at their own pace. Okay? Through like learning kits, workbook, worksheet. Mamaya i-explain natin kung anong gagawin ng bata during the offline class, which is asynchronous, and anong gagawin ng bata during the online class, which is what we call synchronous. Okay? So, yan ang pagkakaiba po ng dalawa sa tinatawag natin na blended learning approach, which is synchronous and asynchronous. Okay? I hope that it is clear to each and everyone. So, can we proceed to the next slide? Okay. Now, ito po yung ating mga online platform na gagamitin doon sa ating online classes. Okay? So halimbawa, ngayong araw na to, the students are scheduled to attend classes online, let's say for 40 minutes, for example, in one particular subject. So ito yung mga gagamitin na plataforma ng mga bata. Anyway, this will be also oriented by the class advisor or the teacher itself to the students prior to the opening of the classes. Una, meron tayong tinatawag na Google Classroom, and meron tayong Google Meet, and meron tayong email, at meron tayong Zoom. Actually, yan ang mga most probably, the St. Vincent will be using a Google Meet for the, the online classes. Okay? It could also be used like the Zoom, it can also be used. And Google Classroom, this is like our learning management system wherein all the worksheet, all the activities, all the, any other performance task will be uploaded by the teacher in the Google Classroom. But most probably, during the online classes, Google Meet or the Zoom will be the one to be used as far as the platform is concerned. So, kailangan natin ma-familiarize itong mga to para alam natin na ito yung mga gagamitin ng mga plataforma ng eskwelahan para ang bata ay maka-attend ng online classes. So if you will notice, email, Gmail, so ang mga bata ay mayroong, I believe that the school will create a Gmail account for the students wherein students could be able to submit their, what do you call this, performance activity in the email. Okay? Next slide, please. So, online delivery, ibig sabihin sa synchronous, anong gagawin ng mga bata? Live classes will be done on a specific time provided in the weekly schedule. So, ibig sabihin, there will be, the schedule that will be given to you are almost the same with the schedule that we have on the face-to-face classes. So, ang pagkakaiba na nga lang ay na-divide yung oras na yon sa offline and online class. Okay? So, at the same time, there will be like pre-recorded lessons and educational videos to be provided to supplement, okay, to supplement the live classes, which is the online classes. So, ito yung mga pre-recorded lessons, ibibigay ito ng teachers dun sa mga bata, or it could be uploaded in the Google Meet, and then it will be shown by the students during the offline classes. Okay, pwede nilang gamitin ito to supplement their learnings. Although mayroon din namang bibigay ng mga textbooks, mayroon ibibigay ng mga workbooks or worksheet. Okay? So yan ang gagawin ng bata during the online delivery discussion, or we call it synchronous class. Okay? Next slide. Now, ano naman ang gagawin ng mga bata during the offline delivery? Okay? Kasi yung classes natin as far as blended, nakahati po siya sa online and offline delivery, which is the synchronous and asynchronous. So in the asynchronous class or the offline delivery, so ang mga bata ay mayroong textbooks para gagamitin to supplement the learning that they have heard from the teacher during the online classes. So the students will work offline with the worksheet. Okay, halimbawa doon sa discussion ng teacher for 40 minutes, okay, meron siyang ibibigay na mga worksheet or activity related to the topics that has been discussed. Gagawin ng bata siya for at least 20 minutes during the offline class or the offline delivery. So that is with the help of the parents most probably. So kailangan natin ang koordinasyon ng ating mga magulang. Please pardon us for this requirement that you are also need. I mean, we need your assistance to your child in order to achieve rather the output, the learning output that we really want to achieve to the children before the end of the day. So, offline in the synchronous. Tama? In the asynchronous class or the offline delivery, ang bata ay mayroong gagawin. Anong kanilang gagawin? Ito yung mga worksheet, assignments, sheet work, or any other activity related to the topic that have been discussed during the online discussion. Next slide, please. Okay. So, since ang ating eskwelahan ay gagamit ng blended learning approach, teaching and learning, so ano yung mga devices na required para sa inyong mga anak? Okay, so recommended is the laptop, kung mayroon kayong laptop, or desktop could also be used with this specification. Of course, mic with a webcam, no, is very important. Although I believe if you are using the laptop, even you do not have this, earphone, you can still use the laptop without the earphone. You can still hear the teacher, and you can still be heard by your teacher once you participate during the online discussion. And of course, the most important is the internet connection. So I believe 96% of our students, of our parents who participate in the survey, they have internet connection at home. That is why we were able to adapt what we call the learning modality, which is the blended approach. Okay, so that is recommended: laptop, desktop, and with the internet connection. Okay, then the alternative ones could be used is our smartphone. Actually, our smartphone, okay, everybody has a smartphone. All people now have a smartphone. So we can use also our mobile phone for our attendance to the online or live classes. So you can use headphones, and also, of course, most probably, you should also have to have your internet connection. Packet Wi-Fi or mobile data can also be used in the attendance for the what do you call this, online classes. That is why alternative, if you do not have laptop, if you do not have desktop at home, you can use your mobile phone. Okay. Next slide, please. Those are the requirements for the online and the offline classes. Now, let's take a look with the contents of this learning continuity plan. So ano yung mga, what do you call this, learning area na pag-aaralan ng mga bata during the pandemic? Okay, still the same with what the learning areas that the students are having for the past years. Okay, so this is based from the MALC, or the most essential learning competency prescribed by the Department of Education. Kung sinasabi natin learning areas, ito yung mga subjects ng mga pag-aaralan ng bata during the what do you call this, the synchronous and the asynchronous classes. So wala siya pinag-iba sa subjects ng bata last year na kung saan meron tayong face-to-face. So the same performance tasks are required. Kung sinasabi natin performance tasks, quizzes, sit works, activity, periodical examination, the same pa rin po siya in the synchronous and asynchronous classes. Okay? Next slide, please. Now, so kung titingnan natin yung curriculum context natin sa preschool, ito yung mga learning areas. Sa grade school, yan yung mga learning areas. Kaya nga sinasabi ko kanina, these are all based from the most essential learning competencies prescribed by the Department of Education. So, kahit pa sabihin na online class siya, hindi nagbago ang ating learning areas. Ganun pa din siya. Okay? Kung paano natin siya i-measure sa last year, ganun pa din ang ating measurement ng kanilang performance task sa ngayon na kung saan meron tayong pandemya na gumagamit tayo ng distance learning education. Okay? So, ang mga requirements natin dito sa mga learning areas na ito, ayan, meron tayong textbooks. Still, the students are required to have textbooks or libro, ika nga. Then, may mga learning kit na ipoprovide ang ating eskwelahan, lalo-lalo na sa preschool. At meron tayong workbook or worksheet na ibibigay dahil gagamitin nila ito during the offline class or in the asynchronous. Kasi meron silang oras na kung saan ay gagawa sila ng kanilang mga worksheet. Okay? Of course, lecture notebook is also very important, lalo-lalo na sa mga mathematics subject na kung saan kinakailangan ng mga computation. So, gagamit sila ng notebook. Or even in other learning areas, students can also use their notebook while they are having their classes online and offline. Okay? Next slide, please. Ayan po, ang ating time allotment. So kung makikita natin, although don't worry about the time allotment and the schedule, you will be given or you will be provided, what do you call this, time schedule for every student. Now, so sa synchronous classes, sa online classes na tinatawag natin, lalo-lalo na sa when we say kindergarten, from nursery to kinder 1 and 2. So limited yung ating classes sa 40 minutes per day. Kasi kung mapapansin natin, the minimum number of minutes in one particular learning area o sa isang subject ay 60 minutes. So kung 60 minutes siya, 40 minutes lang yung online na klase na magdi-discuss si teacher through computer, and then yung the rest of the 20 minutes or the rest of the minutes will be spent for the asynchronous class or offline. Yan tinatawag natin na independent learning. So ang bata ay gagawa ng mga seatwork, gagawa ng mga activity, kaya tinatawag siya na independent learning at their own pace. Kung gaano sila kabilis matapos, it's okay. Okay? So wala tayong limit dyan kung kailan nila matapos. Ang mahalaga ay ma-submit nila yung mga seatwork and activity na dapat gawin doon sa asynchronous class or asynchronous time na yon. But of course, the administration of, the performance task doon sa kanilang offline activity, kinakailangan to be facilitated by the parents or the guardian. Okay? Sa grade school naman, ganun din. So ang elementary level natin ay minimize yung ating oras sa at least what do you call this, 40 minutes also per subject, and the rest of the 20 minutes will be spent for asynchronous activity. We call this independent learning. So, ganun din. So, makikita niyo diyan sa schedule na ibibigay sa inyo ng kanilang mga academic class advisors. Okay? So yan yung mga time allotment as far as preschool and grade school is concerned. Okay? Next slide, please. So, yung academic quarters natin, so ganun pa din. So, wala siyang pinag-iba. Meron tayong quarterly exams. Okay? So, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. So, nakadivide siya according to quarters from August up to April. So, mapansin natin, no, ang ating academic school year sa ngayon nagbago because of this pandemic. We are supposed to start our class for the school year for June, but then it has been moved to August, so we will be ended until most probably April. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, so yung ating academic quarter, so makikita ninyo, this is the roadmap or the academic roadmap. So from school preparation, enrollment, I believe you have registered or enrolled your children online. Then orientation, ito yung ating orientation sa ngayon. Then opening ng classes ay August 26, nalalapit na. And our first quarter examination will be like from October 29 to 31 and all the rest. So if you can see the arrow from here all the way down there, ito yung ating academic roadmap na kung saan susundan. So makikita nyo ito sa inyong academic calendar na ibibigay ng eskwelahan sa inyo. So magkakaroon kayo ng kopya, don't worry. Okay? So can we move to the next slide? Okay, so assessment. Ano yung sabihin ng assessment? Examination. Mayroon pa rin bang exam ang mga bata kahit na distance learning education sila, online lang sila? Yes, of course, still the same. Wala po siyang pinag-iba doon sa ating face-to-face na klase na ginagawa sa mga previous years na ginagawa natin. So, yung assessment or yung mga exam or performance task na ginagawa ng bata ay ganoon pa din. Meron pa rin silang sit work, meron pa rin silang mga activity, may quizzes, at meron pa rin silang periodical test. So wala siyang pinag-iba. So the same performance measures will be followed for this academic year in times of pandemic. Even we are using what we call DLE or distance learning education. Okay? So, can we take a look with the next slides on the assessment component? So, ayan. Ganun pa din po siya. So, kahit pa sabihin po na naka-online class lang po tayo, distance learning education tayo, mayroon pa rin tayong mga different components to measure the performance of your child at the end of the school year. So, written works pa rin natin ay 30%. Ano nga ba yung mga yon? May quizzes, set works, summative test. So, yan mga yan, igagawin yan ng mga bata. And performance task is also 50% like project or whatever it is. And quarterly assessment, we call this the periodical exam. Okay? So, ayan, bawat learning area or subject na tinatawag ay mayroon silang mga percentage as to measure their performance in each of the learning areas. So, makikita nyo yan sa ating monitor na kung saan may mga certain percentage na sinusunod si teacher. So, ganun pa din. Wala siyang pinag-iba sa ating face-to-face classroom. Kaya lang medyo nga lang a bit, complicated sa ngayon and medyo burden both the teachers and the parents and the school administration, of course. Because of this, we need guidance, and for the teachers, they need to have more coordination at the same time. They need careful and their attentions and connections to their students. Okay, so those were the different components that you have to be familiar with. Okay, can we move to the next slide? Okay, so tingnan natin ang teacher's role. Although we have been oriented already our teachers about this, and so kung makikita niyo mga magulang na talagang medyo mahirap ang role ng mga teachers sa ngayon, aside or over and above their usual rules na tinatawag during the classroom, face-to-face classroom discussion. So, ayan, mag-orient ang teacher sa paano ang online and offline class. So, gagawa sila ng mga strategies. And most especially, I would like to emphasize on the, the role of the teachers, which is coordinating with the parents and the guardians. So, mga mommies and daddies, if ever the teacher coordinates with you about parenting, especially to the guidance on how the activities of your child will be performed at home, please try to participate and coordinate with our teachers Kasi kumbaga, we do not want to deprive the opportunity and the privilege of the students to get quality education. So kumbaga, kinakailangan parents and teachers will have to coordinate so that at the end of the day, makakuha ang bata ng kanilang edukasyon na nararapat para sa kanila. So, ang gusto ko lang i-emphasize dito sa teacher's role at this point in time is the coordination with the parents and guardians in order to see and monitor the progress of their students. Okay? And of course, as what we have said, at this point in time, ito yung pagkakaiba ngayon sa face-to-face na kung saan ang teacher, they have to make sure that they have to be available online if ever there are some clarifications and questions from the parents. So, by all means, no, pwede nyo siguro i-message ang mga teachers through the messengers, or email or whatsoever. So if ever there are some questions or clarification, especially during the time na kung saan nag-a-assist kayo sa inyong mga bata during sa performance task nila, sa sit work nila, at hindi nyo naintindihan, pwede kayong magtanong sa mga teacher. They are available at any time, okay, in case of consultations. Okay? So, yun ang pinaka-importanting role ng mga teachers sa ngayon as far as our distance learning education is concerned. The rest, yung kanilang role as a teacher, as far as their job description is concerned, ganun pa din siya. Itong mga role dito na nakasulat sa screen natin ngayon, ito yung mga karagdagan ng mga role ng mga teachers natin ngayon. Kaya masasabi natin na medyo burden on the part of the teachers, but then that is our role, teachers. So we took our oath that we have to teach our children, or our students rather, in as much as we can. Okay? So then coming up to the next slide is the role of the students or the learners. Okay. So attending the online class, of course, itong mga role ng students ay kinakailangan din i-familiarize ng ating mga magulang. Kasi kumbaga, ang mga bata, naka-mindset sila na online lang ito, blah blah blah, etc. Hindi ito importante. So kinakailangan being a parents, we have to, put to the mindset of our child na kinakailangan nila mag-attend ng klase regularly, lalo sa online. Okay? I believe, in some other schools, they require the students to have to wear their official school uniform, even they are sitting down only in their computer to attend class. You know why? But here in our school, we are not requiring like that. In some other schools, I believe they are doing this. It is because they want to have to have a mindset to the child na pagising nila sa umaga ay kinakailangan naka-uniform. Ibig sabihin, para naka-mindset sa kanila na nag-aaral sila, na nasa classroom sila. Pero in our case, we are not requiring it. Okay? So still, ang mga role ng mga bata sa ngayon is gagawa pa rin sila ng mga exercises and sit works during the offline classes at lahat. Anyway, all of this will be oriented by the teacher or the class advisor prior to the opening of the classes. Okay? So punta tayo ngayon doon sa role ng ating mga magulang na very important at this point in time, na kung saan we are, humihingi kami ng paumanhin at humihingi kami ng tulong na you have to help the school and the teacher to implement our distance learning education at this point in time. So yung assist their child on the conduct of the online class, ito yung pinaka-importante sa ating mga magulang. No? So I believe the parents also have, alam ko pag gising natin sa umaga, may mga trabaho tayo, may iiwan natin ang mga bata, pero kinakailangan pa rin natin silang asistihan. Or if whoever left at home, like guardian or whoever, please try to let them assist your child at home attending online classes and attending offline classes. Kailangan yung guidance ng mga magulang sa learning activity ng bata. Huwag natin pababayaan ang bata na gumagawa ng sarili lang nila. Kailangan natin i-monitor ano nga ba yung ginagawa nila during the online class at ano nga ba yung ginagawa nila during the offline class. So kailangan natin silang i-monitor. So make sure that the child or that your child is attending classes online regularly, and please try to coordinate with the teacher. Kaya nga sinasabi ko kanina na you have to coordinate also with the teacher or the class advisor if there are some sort of questions and clarification when it comes to the activities of your children. our children, our teachers are available on time, online at any time. Okay? So, yung ating mga parents, pwede kayong, you will be the one to collect the books. Kung mayroon man mga text, mga learning materials na pwedeng i-pick up sa school, it is the responsibility of the parents, because I believe those who are below 17 years old, I believe, they aren't allowed to go out now, no? So that is why ang ating mga kabataan ay hindi sila pwedeng pumunta ng eskwelahan, but it has to be the parents. So yun ang role natin ng mga magulang, na kung saan importante sa ngayon na guidance ng mga magulang sa ating mga bata during the offline classes. Ano nga ba yung ginagawa nila activity sa bahay. At the same time, kung mayroong hindi naintindihan, of course, there will become a time that the students cannot understand, no? The sit work, especially sa online classes, no? Kasi 40 minutes lang. So, kailangan natin i-guide sila. At kung mayroon kayong tanong natin sa ating mga teachers nila. Okay? Next slide. Ayan. Natapos na ang ating learning continuity. Yun ang nilalaman ng ating learning continuity plan, na kung saan ang pinaka main points ng ating LCP is that the learning modality that the school is using at this point in time, which is the distance learning education or DLE. So ano nga ba yung DLE? Gagamit ng approach na kung saan blended approach, na ang blended approach ay naghahati sa dalawa: synchronous online class, asynchronous offline classes. Anong gagawin sa offline class? Yung mga sit work at activity na ipapagawa ng teacher gagawin doon sa offline class. So, ang ating klase ay nakadivide sa dalawa: 40 minutes online at 20 minutes offline. Okay? So, I hope that everyone understood our plan for this academic school year 2020-2021. And if you have some queries and questions, please write down your questions in the chat head, and we will answer your questions later after the orientation is done. Okay? Thank you very much. Good morning once again.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ruel, for giving us the general information that we need to know for our school year 2020-2021. So, and now let us proceed to the health and safety protocols. This will be discussed by our grade 4 advisor and our English teacher, none other than Teacher Vess. Teacher Vess, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Teacher Tin. Good morning, everyone. Okay, I'm going to share with you the preparations done by St. Vincent Learning Center of Manila regarding the health and safety of the school community. In compliance with DepEd Order Number 14, Series of 2020, SVLCM drafted the health and safety protocols to keep the school community safe during the pandemic. Okay, one is the general health and safety protocols. Okay, these are the preventive measures on COVID-19. Yan na po yung ginagawa natin. Just like observing the proper use of face masks, gloves, and face shields. Okay, another one is the regularly washing of hands with soap and water, or using alcohol or hand sanitizer. It's very basic po yan kasi ano po yung ginagawa natin. And then maintaining social distancing at least 1 meter distance. Okay, here in school, the hand soap and hand sanitizers are available in the toilets, offices, and classrooms. The school ensures the regular cleaning and disinfection of restrooms, offices, classrooms, and surfaces and objects inside the school. Okay, we will go to the detection and referral. Okay, so anyone who will visit or visits the school is subject for thermal checking upon entering. Kagaya po sa ibang kumpanya.
Okay, ganyan po ang ginagawa. In case one is detected to have fever, he or she will not be allowed to enter the premises and be subjected for referral to the nearby health clinic in the barangay. Okay, next, school activities and events. Okay, due to the pandemic, all outdoor and indoor activities are postponed for this school year, except other co-curricular activities which can be done online. Okay, so yung mga dating ginagawang activities dito sa school, mapopostpone muna for this school year. Next, school mini clinic. Okay, just like any other establishment, anyone in the school premises manifest COVID-19 symptoms shall not be allowed to report to school. The school shall cooperate to the local health authorities for medical attention and contact tracing and will require for home quarantine. And anyone who is tested positive shall not be allowed to return to school without clearance from the medical practitioner. The school ensures the availability of emergency health kits. Okay, next, health and safety policies. Okay, the school ensures that preventive measures on COVID-19, just like what have mentioned a while ago, like wearing of mask, face shield and gloves, maintaining proper hand sanitary hygiene, and maintaining social distancing are implemented in the school premises. Next, physical arrangement in school. Okay, all classrooms here in school and everything are prepared. Prepared following the health and safety protocols. However, this school year, the classrooms will not be utilized as students will learn at home. Okay, next, support mechanisms. The school orients its staff to facilitate the lessons up to the best of their ability, adhering to the health and safety protocols. The school remains open, wherein teachers and other staff shall also be available for parents' queries. It ensures that the teachers are provided with logistic support in case work at home is necessary. Okay, so yan po ang health and safety protocols na fina-follow po ng school. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you, Teacher Ves, for giving us the information about the health and safety protocols na ipinapatupad sa ating eskwelahan. And now, without further ado, to give us the quick view of our school calendar and activities for this school year, let us have our MAPE teacher, Teacher Julie.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Okay, now we're going to talk about our academic calendar and activities for this school year 2020-2021. Okay, dear parents, it is very important that we parents and even teachers and as well as the students are stay connected and continue updated with our schedule of school activities. Since we may not meet face-to-face and pandemic has brought us awareness to new possibilities in our education system, there will be changes and adjustment to adapt the new normal learning. In line with the latest advisory of Department of Health that public events and gatherings are cancelled to prevent the spread of virus disease, the COVID-19, the school have decided that activities in school that involves learners in large gathering and face-to-face appearance are postponed for this school year, except for those activities that can be conducted on online platform. So ulitin ko po, those activities in school that involve learners in large gathering and face-to-face appearance are postponed for this school year, and except for those activities that can be conducted on online platform. So yung mga activities po that can be done through online, like the parents orientation that we have today, quiz bee, and buwan ng wika. It can be reading month, quarterly examinations, and alike. So in our slide, we can see we have here the total number of school days and total numbers of holidays. So for the month of August, we have 7 school days. September, 26 school days. October, 23 school days. November, 23. December, 18. January, 24 school days. February, 21 school days. March, 27 school days. April, 22 school days. And May, we have 14 school days, and a total of 205 school days. At the other side, we can see it has
Everyday, may online. Maghapon. Hanggang na 8:30 hanggang 3:30. Sa inyo? Sa kwan, mga bata sila na.
ano ba ako? Nasalita ka narinig kanina. Ay, di pa narinig. Ulitin ko ba? Anong video?
2 hours lang.
Oo. 2 hours lang.
Ulitin ko ba?
Tapos meron na lang work activities.
Bali online sa work activities na
Online.
Okay, so good morning. Sorry for that. We just have a little technical difficulties. So, Teacher Julie,
Maghapon?
Oo, maghapon. Nakakatuwa everyday.
just to remind
Monday, tapos
everyone, Mami Sandra, please have your microphone muted.
Ay, hindi ko yung approve kanila. Approve.
Naya, may ano ka, di ba? May headphone ka? Yung headset? Earphone. Ana, di ba may earphone sa nanay dito?
Sinabi ko na.
Papasukin na. Magayahan nyo. Talagang kayo.
Tumawag ka na lang.
Sige pa. Magkaya po iba school dyan na Magkuha ka na hindi kaya 8 hours sa computer.
Oo, sinabi ko, can supply me with the approved platform ng you submitted by to the...
Okay, so since meron... Yes, Teacher Julie.
Okay na po.
Okay, so sorry, Mommies and Daddies, for the technical difficulties. Yung mga devices po natin, Mommies and Daddies, please makikisuyo po, paki-turn off po ng ating microphone.
Ulitin na lang. Okay, again, good morning everyone. Naririnig na ba? Okay. Now we will talk about our academic calendar and activities for this school year 2020-2021. It is very important for us, parents, teachers, and as well as the students, that we should stay connected and continue updated with our schedule of school activities. Since we may not meet face-to-face and pandemic has brought us awareness to new possibilities in our education system, there will be changes and adjustment to adapt in our new normal learning. In line with the latest advisory of Department of Health that public events and gatherings are cancelled to prevent the spread of virus disease COVID-19. The school have decided that activities in school that involve learners in large gathering and a face-to-face appearance are postponed for this school year, except for those activities that can be conducted on online platform. Ayan, I will repeat po, activities in school that involve learners in large gathering and face-to-face appearance are postponed for this school year. Ayan. Okay, my dear parents, as we can see in the slide, here's our school calendar and activities. Okay, for the month of August, we have the total number of school days 7. For September, 26. October and November, it has 23 school days. December, 18 school days. January, 24 school days. February, 21. March, 27 school days. For April, 22 school days. And May, 14 school days. And a total of 205 school days. At the other side, we can see the total numbers of holidays. It has only 20 holidays. So basically po, during holidays and special events in school, we have no classes. Okay, thank you. We will keep everyone posted for updates and reminders in our FB page and Google Classroom. By the way, parents, for those who haven't yet a copy of our school calendar and activities, you may ask it to your child class advisor. That's all. Thank you and good morning.
Yes, thank you, Teacher Julie. And now, let us have, a while ago, Dr. Ruel mentioned that meron pa rin tayong grading system. So, meron pa rin assessment. And kung paano yon gagawin for this school year, let us have our elementary coordinator and our Filipino teacher, Teacher Lian, to give us information about the grading system and selection of honors and awards.
Thank you, Teacher Tin. Good morning, mommies and daddies. I am here with you to discuss about the grading system, which is DepEd Order number 8, Series 2015. So, eto pa rin po yung ginagamit nating grading system last year and sa mga years po na ginamit po natin. So, next slide please. So, eto po yon in preschool, ang ginagamit po natin is numerical value to describe the student's performance in different learning areas. But for now, we will use the checklist po. But we assure you na meron pa rin po tayong assessment para malaman po natin kung naging okay po ba yung learning ng ating mga anak. So again po, in preschool po, ang gagamitin na po natin for this school year is checklist. But still, meron pa rin po tayong assessment na mangyayari. Quarterly pa rin po yun. And in grade school, grades 1 to 6 po, the components are the following: written works, performance tasks, quarterly assessment. In language, Filipino and English po to, and AP and Edukasyon sa Pagpapakatao or the ESP, 30% sa written works. Ang nilalaman po ng written works po na ito is the sit works and the quizzes and other summative written works just like summative. Then the performance task, 50%. So meron pa rin po silang performance task po na kailangan pa rin po nating gawin kahit na nasa online pa rin po tayo. Then the quarterly assessment, ito po yung periodical exam po natin na may 20% po. However, sa science and math naman po, in written works is 40%. So mas mabigat po kaysa sa language or the AP subject. Then the performance test is 40% and quarterly assessment is 20%. Sa MAPE and TLE or the HELE and computer po, written works is 20%, but in performance task, talagang mahahasa po ang ating mga anak dito is 60%, and the quarterly assessment is 20% po. So, naintindihan po natin, mommies and daddies, ito po yung pinagkukunan po namin ng mga grades po ng ating mga anak. So, may iba't ibang pong components po yan na kailangan po nating gawin or isubmit during our distance learning. So, mahirap po pero unti-unti po mayayakap po natin yung changes na to na submit natin through online. But still, makakaya po natin to. So, next slide. Ito naman po yung descriptors or grading scale and remarks. So, we have outstanding, 90 to 100. So, ang remarks po, this is pass. Then, very satisfactory, 85 to 89. Pass pa rin po. Satisfactory po is 80 to 84, pass. Then fairly satisfactory, 75 to 79, and pass pa rin po. However, kapag did not meet the expectation po below 75, magiging failed po iyon. So nakikita po natin ang mga kailangan po nating gawin para hindi po ma-failed ang ating mga anak. So next. Okay, the most awaited na lagi po nating inaabangan after the mahabang pagpupuyat, mahabang pagbibigay pawis para sa mga exams, sa mga quizzes, seatworks, at especially those performance tasks. Ito po yung selection of honors and awards na DepEd Order number 36 series of 2016 po. So, next slide. So, academic Excellence Award po, ito po yung mga pinagbabasehan po is yung general average po ng ating mga anak every quarter. Then, after po nun, malalaman po natin kung ang anak natin ay umabot ang average ng 90 to 94, ang award po niyang makukuha every quarter or sa recognition po or pati na rin po sa graduation with honors po. Then, 95 to 97 is with high honors, and yung pinaka-highest po natin is 98 to 100 with highest honors po. Then of course po, may mga binibigay pa rin naman po kaming ibang mga awards sa classroom awards po na na-determine po naming mga subject teachers and the class advisors. Especially po sa grade 6, meron po tayong leadership award or yung mga award na talaga namang nagawa ng mga bata, meron po kaming ibinibigay po na ganon. Even sa grades 1 to 5 po, meron din po, those are the like mga best in dancing, mga ganun po, or best in singing. Ito yung mga nakikita po ng mga subject teachers and class advisor na pinapakita po ng mga anak po natin during sa mga ano po. Pero for na, kahit na nasa online pa rin po natin, online pa rin tayo, mami, makikita at malalaman pa rin po namin yon. Kasi nag-iba lang naman po sa online, hindi kami nagkikita, nahahawakan sila or na-touch sila, pero nakikita pa rin namin during online class or the synchronous time po. So next po. Okay, so natapos po tayo sa grading system and selection of honors and awards. Ngayon po, we proceed to school code and discipline. So, eto po mami, makikita po natin ito lahat sa student's handbook. Kung nakakuha na po kayo ng mga school calendar, the books, and yung course outline and the school, the class schedule, kasama po yung handbook na binibigay po namin. Kahit po mga mommies and daddy, nasa bahay lang po ang ating mga anak, still po, kailangan po nating bigyan sila ng chance at higit sa lahat, gamitin po yung mga appropriate clothes po para mas mag-enjoy at maisip po nila, ay, mag-aaral pa rin pala ako kahit na nasa bahay lang po. Para sa ganun po, masuot pa rin naman po nila yung mga damit po nilang pamasyal or pwede naman po yung PE t-shirt po, pwede pong gamitin po yun. or kung gusto naman po nilang mag-uniform, nasa kanila na po yun or nasa inyo po. But still po, maayos po yung mga pananamit po ng ating mga anak. So, bawal po yung sando, yung ganun po. So, that's it po. Thank you very much po for listening and have a good day po. Stay safe po.
Okay, thank you so much, Teacher Lian. And now we will proceed to our question and answer forum. Ayan, so ngayon po babasahin na natin yung mga questions na nasa chat box. Okay, so good morning. This also. Good morning. Okay, question. Ayan, kung meron pa po kayong question, pwede pa po kayong mag-type ngayon sa ating chat box. Okay, wait. Okay, now let's have question from MC. Are notebooks per subject required during DLE? Teacher Lian, please answer.
Mami, sa question niyo po about notebooks per subject, yes po. Especially in mathematics po. In mathematics subject, kailangan po nila yon para makita po kapag pipicturean naman po yon, then especially during the seat works or quizzes na may computation po, kailangan po yon para dun po sila mag-answer. Tapos pipicturean, then isasubmit po sa subject teacher. About naman po sa other subjects, we required because para po sa mga ibang notes or information na wala po sa books natin, pwede po nilang i-copy po yon para pag-reviewhan kapag may quiz or the periodical exam po. So yun po. So what else?
From Rian, 1 notebook per subject pa rin po.
Yes po, Mami.
Next question, when po i-release ang books and learning materials?
Yesterday po, nag-start na po kaming mag-release until Saturday. Po-open po kami tomorrow para makuha pa rin po nyo yung mga books po. Then, after MECQ rin po, pwede pa pong kumuha.
Okay, next question. This is from Mami Payan. So, how will you conduct the quizzes and other exams?
In quizzes po, Mami, we use the Google Forms. We will post it in Google Classroom. And then po, andun po yung time kung kailan isasubmit yung bata. Kung ano po yung oras ng subject, yun pa rin po yung time na pagsagot po ng mga bata. Then ito turn in po sa amin, then magigradean po namin agad. However, sa exam po, ang mangyayari po is online, live po tayo para ma-monitor po namin kung paano po sila magsagot at makikita po namin, mamomonitor po namin sila. So, yun po.
Okay, next question from Mami Rubio. Para sa kinder, ang kinder po ba may books pa po or activities?
Wala na pong books ang kinder, but we provide the worksheets po para po, then i-advise na lang po sa inyo ng advisor kung kailan po kukunin at kung kailan po yon ibabalik.
Okay, so additional lang po for preschool at sa kinder, we will be giving learning kits. Doon po sa learning kits, nandun po yung mga activities nila, things, materials na gagamitin po nila for their asynchronous activities. And next question from Mami Villanueva. So this was answered earlier. How is quarterly exam given? So yun po, ang ating quarterly exam ay live as mentioned by Teacher Lian. Next question po from Jaff de la Cruz. Wala po bang school ID ang grade 2?
School ID po na ibibigay po sa bata. Tanungin na lang po namin kay Ms. Lisette regarding po dyan kasi sa ano po yan, sa school admin or the school management po.
And then next question from RJ Galang. Should there be any adjustments with the tuition fee since we'll be using our own electricity and internet?
Ano pangalan ng church, Sir?
RJ Galang.
Sir RJ Galang.
So Sir RJ po, as of now po, we still not meet the target numbers of the students, unlike before po na talaga naman po ang dami po nila. Ngayon po, honestly speaking, nasa 126 or 130 students pa lang po tayo at hindi po kakayanin po na maibaba po yung tuition po natin kasi hindi pa po namin nami-meet. However, kung magkasakali naman po na ma-meet na natin or ma-target na po namin yung number of students, we will inform you naman po immediately kung may changes po. Pero sa ngayon po talaga wala pa po.
Okay, so this is from King Angulo. During exam, what will happen? Do you give the test paper?
Yes po, through online po. Ipopost naman po namin yon gamit po yung Google Form through the Google Classroom. Then imo-monitor po namin live po yon na mag-exam po sila.
Next question from Leia. May available notebook po ba sa school? Doon na lang bibili?
I think po meron pa po. Double check na lang po namin. Then we will inform you po.
Okay, this is from Mami Serrano. During sit work and quiz time, kailangan ba ang participation ng parents? How can we assure na ang mga students ang sumasagot ng mga sit work or quizzes nila para talagang they will learn on their own?
In preschool or in kinder po, we advise na kailangan po talaga ng guardians or parents. But in grade school, kinder, grade 1 and 2, we advise na meron pong guardians or parents na mag-assist po sa kanila. But in grade 3 to 6 po, the teachers can monitor or can see kung nagsasagot po ang mga anak natin para makita pa rin naman po namin na meron pong kahihinatnan yung pagsagot po nila na hindi po tinuturuan ng mga parents po. Opo, yung independent learning po natin.
Okay, so
excuse me, can I butt in doon sa tanong na kung pwede mag-assist ang parents? Okay, by the way, as what Ms. Lian has mentioned, in our preschool students and also from grades 1 to 2, we actually need the assistance of the parents or the guardian. Assistance here doesn't mean that the parents will be the one to answer the questions or whatever the performance task by the student. So ang assistance sa tinatawag natin dito is, let's say for example, babasahin nyo yung instructions because more or less ginagawa yun ng teacher sa face-to-face classes. So that is the role of the parents, by the way, there. So that means to say that assistance there doesn't mean that you will be the one to answer the questions. Now, for grades 3 up to grade 6, assistance of the parents here comes in like fixing only the device that the students are using. Now, during the sit work, for example, in the offline activity, because we call this independent learning activity. So let your child do the performance task. Answer them, let them answer independently. Okay. Now, of course, there are times that your child will ask a questions. Let's say they do not understand, hindi niya naintindihan. Pwede kayong tanungin. That is the time that you can help them explain the instructions, but doesn't mean to answer the questions. Okay, so I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Well. So let's proceed to the next question from Mami Floreline Villanueva. Avail na po ba all set of books for grade 5?
Yung English yun.
Sa grade 5 po, English na lang po yung kulang po natin. Kaya, pero kung nakapunta naman po kayo at gusto niyo na pong kunin, okay lang din po. Then, kukunin na lang po natin yung additional book po ng English po. To follow po.
Okay, so from Mami Rian, how much po ang books for grade 1?
Ayun mo ka. May copy. Tawag mo na sila sa office. Hindi. Ano mo? Yung guys kanina.
What is the question, teacher?
This is, the question is, how much po ang books for grade 1? Siguro po, pwede pong tawag na lang po kayo sa contact numbers na ipa-flash namin later para ma-advise po yung exact amount po ng book for grade 1. Ayan po. So, let's proceed to the next question. May books din po ba ang kinder? So, na-mention po kanina. So, wala pong books ang kinder, pero meron po silang learning kit na matatanggap. Next question, follow up. This is from Mami Galapin. Follow up sa quarterly exam question. Quarterly exam live as in 1:1 or sabay-sabay din sila magsasagot all at the same time?
The plan po, Mami, is by schedule po yon. Maybe 5 to 10 students po in the first day. Then, yun po, schedule po ang gagawin para po hindi rin po mahirapan yung teacher and hindi po magkagulo during on live exam po.
Okay, next question po from Mami MC. About po sa delivery and pick up ng school requirements. Possible po ba if all be submitted online to avoid possible transmission of virus?
We required po before 1 week or 2 weeks before the exam po yung books na ipapasa or the notebooks sa mga subject, gumamit po ng notebook para po ma-check po yon. So we will inform you naman po kung need na pong ipasa yung books, the notebooks po or any worksheets po na binigay po namin para ma-avoid po natin yung contact po sa ibang tao po. Yun po.
Okay, next po. This is actually a suggestion. So, babasahin ko na din po. No? This is from Mami Jehansi. I suggest students should wear their uniform pa din. Importante ang mindset ng mga kids na papasok sila sa school. So, ayan. So, again po sa SDLCM, actually, we do not require the students to wear their school uniform. Pero good point po yung sinabi niyo po.
Yes. But then again, as what I have mentioned a while ago, no, because there are also some other schools wherein they are requiring their students to, wear their school uniform. But for the parents who, especially those students who already have their uniform, no, especially like the higher grade levels, If you want them to wear your uniform, because tama yon na kung saan pagising sa umaga ng bata, naka-mindset sila na papasok sila because of the school uniform. So it's still also, it would be better. So kung gusto nyo talaga na i-implant sa mindset ng bata yung pagpasok, so it's also welcome to wear their uniforms. Anyway, those higher grade levels, they already have their uniforms, right? So still you can use your uniform. It would be better.
Yes, thank you, Doc Ruel. So let's have the next question from Mami Eileen. What is then the target number of students? How much would be the expected percentage of increase in tuition fee? When will we know that there is an increase in tuition fee?
Again, asan yung ilan daw yung target? Di ba 200?
Actually po, with regards dito sa question regarding tuition fee, no, ang target number of students po namin is around 200 to cover up all the expenses for this whole school year. And then kung hindi naman po namin ma-meet yung target of students na yon, there will be no tuition fee increase. Tama, Teacher Lian?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, just to be clear po, no, kung hindi pa po ma-meet yung number of students, that's around 200, wala pong tuition fee increase. So, i-cover po yun ng ating school administration. Ayun po. So, next question
okay,
po.
by the way, I have to,
yes, Dr.
can I
Rowell.
butt in? Okay,
Yes,
by the way,
po.
with regards to that tuition fee, you know, as we all know, no, that the school's financial, you know, aspect at this point in time is really struggling. The number of students that, I mean, the target number of students that the school is trying to, you know, meet is just a minimum number. Yung 200 na sinasabi ng teacher kanina is just a minimum number of students na target at this point in time of pandemic. Basically, the school has around more or less 500 students during the face-to-face classroom, no? But then at this point in time, most of the private educational institutions really are struggling when it comes to number of students. That is why we are appealing to our parents not to understand also the situation of the school, especially that for the financial operation. So we will let you inform about what do you call it, if ever there is an increase or decrease of tuition fee. That will depend upon the that will depend on the target number of students. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Well. So follow-up question rin po from Daddy RJ Santos. So, paano po makakapag-reach out kay teacher para inquiry ni parent or guardian in the event na may question si student na di kaya sagutin ni parent or guardian? So, during po dun sa releasing po ng books, meron din po kaming ibinibigay na brown envelope kasama nandoon po yung school calendar, class schedule, letter to parents ng bawat advisors, and every course outline ng bawat subject. Doon po sa letter to parents, nandoon po yung contact numbers ng ating mga respective teachers and respective advisors. For every academic concerns and question po, pwede po tayong mag-reach out sa ating mga teachers. And if regarding naman po sa tuition fee or other concerns other than academic, pwede po tayong mag-reach out sa ating sa office. So, naka-include po all the contact numbers doon po sa letter na ipapamigay ng ating mga teachers. Let's have the next question from Mami Rose. Good morning, teachers. How about in MAPE? How can we do the exercises in the book just like last year po? Oh, this is from JD.
Sa performance task na yun. Sa performance task na yun, anak, magbibigay naman si teacher na instruction kung kailan or paano nyo gagawin yung mga activities like exercises sa books po. So, yun.
Okay. Thank you, JD. Let's proceed. Okay, this is from Mami Bernales. Confirm ko lang po, doon sa consultation time, need po ba ang presence ng parent? Paano po kung walang available na parent or guardian during the consultation time?
Mami, during consultation time po, hindi po tayo face-to-face. So, we can use any devices na ma-reach out po natin ang teacher. Maybe messenger, pwede rin naman po, or you can text or call po sa number na naka-indicate po sa letter to parents po. So, yun po.
Let me add to that consultation. If you will notice in the class schedule that the school will be given to each and every students, there is a specific timing there for the consultation hours, right? So that means to say that the teachers are available. No? So as what Teacher Lian has mentioned, the consultation doesn't require what you call face-to-face interaction with the teacher. So by all means, you can reach the teacher as far as any query and clarifications and questions are concerned. So marami namang means na pwedeng tumawag, pwede sa messenger. I believe there is a Google, what you call Gmail account, all the teachers, right? So you can reach, you can send an email to the teachers so that your queries will be what you call this, will be assisted. Okay.
Yes, thank you po, Doc Ruel. Let's have the next question from Mami Jacqueline Reyes. Yung mga books po ba, kami po ba ang bibili or kasama na po siya sa mga materials na manggagaling sa school? Actually po, regarding sa books, it will be shouldered by you po, parents. So, hindi po siya kasama dun sa mga materials na manggagaling sa school. Ang i-distribute po namin ay yung books for grades 1 to 6. Ang i-distribute po namin ay yung books and yung brown envelope containing yung course outline na na-mention ko po kanina. And with regards naman po sa preschool, sa kinder, ang i-distribute po namin ay learning kits. Included po doon yung mga synchronous activities na gagawin nila for a quarter or for a month. So, yun po. Yung books po, sa inyo po yun manggagaling. Next, from Mami Floreline Villanueva. What if during online classes na offline ang kids because of poor internet connectivity? Is the kid considered absent? Recorded po ba ang lessons of the day so they can view or watch and follow pa rin kapag nag-up na ang connectivity even after the class schedule?
Okay. We have to expect that the internet connection will be lagged during the time that the online classes or the synchronous class is administered. Now, in that particular case, let's say, for example, the student or the child is offline. It's because of the poor internet connectivity. He or she will not be marked absent, by the way. Now, if ever there will be, what do you call this, that the child missed the discussion of the teacher during the time of the online discussion, there is a consultation hour, wherein the student or the guardian can ask what were those topics, or what were those important discussions that has been mentioned. Now, when it comes to a recording of the classes, this is actually what we have been talking during the time of our orientation with the teachers. Now, since we are dealing with minors, I believe parents please try to understand. So since we are dealing with the minors, our students are minor. We cannot impose, or the school cannot impose, that the online classes will be recorded by the teacher, because we don't know the what you call this, what will happen if ever there will be the recording. Maybe it will be hacked or whatever. So this is why for the purpose of the safety also of our minor students, so we actually, the St. Vincent does not require our teacher to record the online classes. Okay. So now, in case the child got logged off during the online classes, he or she will not be marked absent. And if ever, sorry, since after the online classes, there is a set work or activity that the student will be doing. If ever he doesn't understand what is the instructions there in the set work, he can the parent or the guardian can ask the teachers. Anyway, from time to time or every now and then, the teachers are online or available online, so you can ask the questions about it. Okay.
Yes. Yes, Dr. Well, thank you so much. Next question po from Mami Rubio. Paano po ba i-conduct ang consultation time? So for our consultation time po, as mentioned by Doc Ruel po earlier, you can contact the teachers by any means. Ibibigay po namin ang personal number. You can also contact sa messenger, via email, and via Google Meet. So by any means po, kung ano po yung mas komportable po sa inyo, you can contact the respective teacher. And next from Mami Serrano, grade 2 books and learning activities, available na po ba? Yes, available na po para sa grade 2. Actually, all levels except for grade 5 po available. Kompleto na po lahat ng books and materials. Next from Mami Ruby Plurad. Good AM po. Available na po ang books for grade 3 and grade 6? Yes po, available po. From, hindi naka-specify yung name from Galaxy A7. I think model ito ng kanyang phone. Ask ko lang po, how many students per class for grade 6 students? Teacher Lian?
Teacher Lian, can you answer?
You're on mute, Teacher Lian, please.
Sorry, 25 to 30 po, pero pinaka-maximum na po namin yung 35. Yun na po yung pinaka, po na number ng bata po sa grade 6. So,
okay.
Yun po.
So, our initial target is 25 to 30. And then, ang pinaka-maximum na natin is 35.
35.
Okay, thank you so much, Teacher Lian. Next, let's have the question from Mami Myra Lagurta. Good AM. Kasama ba sa tuition yung payment ng books or kailangan na po payment ko kukunin? Kailangan na po payment ko kukunin. So siguro tinatanong niya kung naka-separate ba yung payment ng books, no? Or kung babayaran na siya pag kukunin. Yes, Teacher Lian?
Mami, naka-separate po yon. So, kailangan po nating bayaran po yung books para po makuha na po natin yon. Or, kindly coordinate po sa office para po mas po nila yung regarding po sa tuition fee. Pero separate po ang books po natin sa down payment na binigay niyo pong 10K po. Aside pa po doon.
Okay, thank you, Teacher Lian. Next question, Mami Serrano, what time po start actual class and everyday po ba all subjects will be taken or alternate ang mga subjects for the whole week?
Yes po, Mami. 3 times a week lang po mag-meet each subject. So, sa Monday, meron po tayong 5 subject, pero every 40 minutes lang po yung synchronous time po natin doon. Then, Tuesday, makikita niyo po yung schedule na ibibigay po namin para makasanayan po natin kung ano pong subject po ang mga araw na papasukan po nila.
Okay po. Actually, ang actual time ng start ng first subject is 7:50 AM. Yeah, that's for ESP po. Okay, so let's have the last 5 questions. So yung mga questions po na hindi natin mababasa at masasagot during this session, pwede po kayong tumawag sa schools. Ipa-flash po sa school. Ipa-flash po namin ang contact numbers later. So last 5 questions lang po muna. From Mami Zenaline Lai. Good morning, teacher. How many hours are we expecting the students to be in front of the gadgets? Teacher Lian?
Again, teacher.
How many hours are we expecting the students to be in front of the gadgets?
Depende po sa schedule po, Mami. Kung halimbawa in Monday, 5 subject po yon, so or 6 na subject po yon, 40 minutes po each subject po ang synchronous time or the online time po. Kasi may iba-iba pong kung iba-ibang subject po may 4, may 5 po. So mababawas at mababawas po yung minutes. Pero 40 minutes during sa grade 4 po kasi 5 subject po sila sa Monday, then sa following day po 4 lang din po or 5 sa susunod na day po. So maximum po yun noon mga 3 hours po.
Okay, just to...
Basically, let me back in.
Yes, Dr. Wen.
Thank you,
Sure
Ms.
po.
Lian, for the explanation. But actually, basically, as what Ms. Lian has mentioned, for each of the students, minimum na yung 3 hours per day, because we allotted the synchronous classes for at least 40 minutes, and the rest of the 20 minutes will be spent for the offline classes. Now, I believe the most of the concerns of the parents are the viewing time, no, for the gadget. So the 40 minutes, okay, because we cannot do away from lessening the number of hours of our students, because in every learning areas there is a required number of minutes. So basically, kapag let's say for example nasa grade 4 ka na, for example, most probably in one day the students should sit down in the class for almost 6 hours. But then during the synchronous classes, it is only limited to 180 minutes as far as 40 minutes allotment or time allotment is given to each of the learning areas. So basically, sa isang araw po, 3 oras lang po sila na nasa gadget. Okay, anyway, yung 40 minutes naman na yun, hindi naman ibig sabihin ay i-maximize ng teacher. So depende yun sa phasing at sa what you call is learning span ng inyong bata during the online classes. For example, ang topic ay ganito, in 25 minutes or 30 minutes na-catch up na ng bata, na-explain na ni teacher, mag-asynchronous na sila. So the rest of the hour will be spent for the asynchronous. So mababawasan yung viewing time ng bata sa gadget. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Well. So, just to add rin po, no, yung maximum na 3 hours na synchronous or online activity natin, hindi po siya tuloy-tuloy. So, meron pong in-between na asynchronous activity. So, makakapag-rest po yung eyes ng ating mga students, ng ating mga learners. And then, so, last 4 questions na lang, no? Next, from Mami Wendell Gahol, or pwede po bang may guardian pero student din po, ate po siya na kasama lang siya? So si Wendell, I think that's grade 3 or grade 3 na si Wendell, no? So Teacher Lian?
Yeah, Teacher Lian, can you answer?
Daddy, sa grade 3 po kasi, all set na po dapat, maayos na po yung device na gagamitin po ng ating anak para pwede na po siyang iwanan during the discussion po. Dapat ma-set na po natin yun bago pa po siya mag-in sa klase po niya para po hindi na po natin siya i-guide during the discussion po. Kasi sasabihan naman po ng teacher if need niyang i-mute yung mic or meron pang ibibigay na instruction si teacher, ipapaliwanag naman po ng teacher po yun.
Okay, thank you, Teacher Lian. From Mami Eileen, follow up sa pagpapasa ng books or notebooks. Can it be scanned instead since nasa province po kami? Thanks. Teacher Lian?
Yes po, Mami. Pwede naman po yun kung meron po tayong pang-scan or scanner or pwede naman pong through picture po then send natin sa Gmail po.
Okay, next po. Oh, this was answered already. What if during classes na wala po yung internet connection? So we have the consultation time po. From Sophia, while the class po is ongoing, may may isa pa po bang teacher na magmo-monitor sa mga students para po ma-check kung may student na nawala na sa group? Thanks po. Teacher Lian,
What was the question, teacher?
While the class is ongoing po, meron pa po bang isang teacher to monitor yung mga students para ma-check po kung may student na po na nawala sa group?
Anyway, during the online classes, it doesn't need to have one teacher to monitor the students' attendance in the group. Basically, the teacher can monitor whether there is one or two students who have been logged out. Kasi makikita naman siya doon sa chat sa monitor kung ilan yung participants. For example, when the classes started, there are 20 participants, and then little by little, it becoming 18, 15, and 20. That means to say that there are students who already have been logged out. And the basis of attendance of the students are those names of students listed in the monitor as far as the logging in is concerned. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Ruel. So one last question po. From Daddy RJ Santos. Sinabi nyo na by SCED yung quarterly exam. Paano kung nagka-problem yung internet connection? Mabibigyan ba ng special exam si student?
Yeah, okay. Shirley, and I will answer first. No? Then, kapag nagkaroon ng problema na gano'n, of course, the school is very lenient about it. It is because we cannot really, we should really expect that during that time that the online or the live exam, for example, there will be one student who will be locked off because of the internet connection. So still, he or she will be given like special exam because this is case-to-case basis. Okay, am I right, Charlie Ann?
Yes po, sir. Yun po ang gagawin. Or we can just inform na lang po agad din po sa amin kung halimbawa na taon po na lost po yung internet connection po nila para sa ibang day na lang din po mag-exam po yung bata. Mag-coordinate na lang po sa amin. Inform po agad immediately po. The advisor or kung sino po yung pwede pong makausap. So, yun po.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Ruel and Teacher Lian. So, for other questions, ipopost po namin contact details later. So, for now, we will have our closing remarks by our PTO President. May I now call on Mrs. Tita Marie S. Salcedo.
Hi, good morning. To all the parents out there, let's work hand in hand with the teachers of SBLCM. I know that this virtual learning is new to all of us, but we have to cooperate and understand that we have to help and guide our children so that this online education would be successful. Let us be supportive of the delivery of education in this new normal. Our role as parents is to follow up after the children are exposed on the online learning, how they perform after the online interaction. So good luck to all of us. Please be safe during this pandemic. And remember, we are all doing this for the protection and safety of our children. Stay safe, everyone.
Yes, thank you so much, Mommy. So that's a very nice message. So we teachers and parents, we have to work hand in hand para ma-achieve natin, ma-survive natin ang school year 2020-2021, which is the new normal, sabi nga nila. So for our contact details, we will flash sa ating screen. Ayan. So, para po sa mga concerns, you can contact us at the following numbers. So, pwede nyo na pong i-take down notes ang ating mga contact numbers. And also, aside from this orientation, magkakaroon po tayo ng class orientation by our respective advisors. Ito po yung ating class orientation schedule. So, ang grade 1 po, ang schedule po nila is on August 20, 10 a.m. And then, grade 2, August 18, 9 a.m. Grade 3, August 18 also, 10 a.m. 4, 5, and 6, 10 a.m. August 18 also, pero iba-iba po yung time. For grade 4, 11 a.m. Grade 5 is 1 p.m. Grade 6 is 2 p.m. So, yung meeting details po for this class orientation ay isi-send ng ating mga class advisors. Ayan po. So again, so that's it for today. Thank you so much po for being with us and thank you for listening. Stay safe po and God bless.